Once again, good afternoon. Welcome to the headquarters of the Ghana Football Association. This afternoon, we are here to announce the squad for the forthcoming matches. The Black Stars have 2 games in the qualification phase of the 2025 Africa Cup of Nations. We already know that the tournament will be held in Morocco next year. 4 games have already been played, and we have 2 more games to play. On the 15th of this month, Ghana will play against Angola in Rwanda, and then on November 18th, which is a Monday, the Black Stars will play Niger at the Accra Sports Stadium. And with the head coach of the team, Otto Addo, he is going to tell us the players who have been invited, and then once that is done, we will take your questions. Thank you very much. Once again, thanks for coming. We are streaming across our platforms, and we are also live on Advance TV. Thank you. Okay, so the coach will give us the squad, and after that, we will take the questions. Coach.
Okay, good morning, good afternoon, everyone. As usual, we start with goalkeepers. So we have invited Lawrence Atisi from Zambian. We have invited Abdul Nordin Manak from Cars Eupen and Joseph Watercott from Town. Defenders, Ali Hussein Stadwan, Tariq Lamte, Brighton and Ho Alien, Jonas Agite, FC Basel, and Nathaniel Ajay from FC Lorient, Alexander Jiko, Fenerbahce Istanbul, Jerome Opoku, Istanbul Başakşehir, Gideon Menza, Ajax, Isaac Aful, FC Samatex, and Razak Simpson from Nations FC. Midfielders, Elijah Musu, Ajax, Abu Francis from Cercle Bruges, Ibrahim Sulemano, Atalanta Bergamo, and Michael Beidu, EF Esbo, Mohamed Kudus, West Ham United, and Emmanuel Enchi, Asante Kotoko. Forwards, Ibrahim Osman, Feyenoord Rotterdam, Enes Norma, Olympique Lyon, Antoine Semenyo, AFC Bournemouth, Jordan Ayew, Leicester City, Iñaki Williams, Athletic Bilbao, and Ishaku Abdul Fattah, Leicester City, and Joseph Pencil, LA Galaxy. Furthermore, I would like to mention, I know that maybe all of you are aware, we have an overview of all the players, and for this, maybe I would like to mention also the injured players. So at this very moment, let me just look for forget somebody. We have the situation that Salisu is injured from the last game, still injured. And then we have Abdul Mumin, who's injured. We have still Abdul Samad Salis is injured. We have long-term injuries like Kovic, Majid Ashimero is also injured, got injured last game. And then Ibrahim Sadiq is also injured. Surely there's also some other injuries, long-term injuries, which I don't like to mention, which we could have considered. But this is just for you to give you an update before questions in this direction come. We would like to, again, please so that you can ask questions about the players who are there. And those who are not there, I mean, it's difficult because, like I said, we have a roster of maybe 50% potentials. It's difficult to talk about maybe those 30, 25 who are not around. Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. So, those are the players who will represent Ghana in the forthcoming games. Ladies and gentlemen, it's now time for your questions. You will raise your hand, you tell us your name and your media house, and then your question. Thank you.
He has been a captain for a while, but he's not in this squad, and you didn't mention that he was part of the injury list. So what exactly was the reason for him not being part of the squad this time?
Yes, this is a good question. I'm sorry, I forgot to mention it in advance. I had a confidential talk with Thomas. I'm a coach who always likes to protect the players. So I hope for your understanding. For me, the team is like family, and I'm not coming out with internal issues. But I made quite clear to him he wanted to come. So this one first, he wanted to come, but I made quite clear that why he's not coming. Like I said, it's confidential. It's difficult for me to mention all the things. It's like that. We have to move on. And maybe in addition to this, because I know the next question will come. So in addition to it, I have to go a little bit back. So first of all, the initiative was to make Thomas the captain of the team and for him to guide the team into that role. And I want him to still be second captain alongside Jiku. But Jordan will take over now, from now, and he will lead and guide the team. And for me, it was very important to take time to talk to Jordan also, to talk about his responsibilities as a captain, because it's always about the team first. It's always about to build a bridge as a captain between the coach and the players. It's always about to be disciplined, to take responsibility. You know, all these things as a leader. It's not, for me, it's also about experience, but not only. It's not only about maybe you have 1,000 games for Ghana or whatever. It's a lot of things which you have to do and you have to take responsibility. And for me, these things, you need to take time with the players to talk and go through, so that in case there are worst case scenarios, the captain knows what to do and knows what I expect from him. So for me, it's not just like a decision you can take, you can give it to somebody. It's a long talk. It's understanding. It's getting perspective, my perspective to players' perspective, and then at the end we agreed, and I was happy for him to accept it. And I think he can give a lot to the team, and we have to move forward and try our best to keep the chance which we still have, the small, slightly chance which we still have to keep it alive.
Okay, next question.
My name is Ibrahim Yako from GH News. Goal scoring is a challenge for the national team, and has shown clearly in the AFCON qualifiers that we played so far. Out of the 4 games that we played, we've managed to score only 1 goal. Going forward, as a coach of the national team, what are you doing to improve the situation of goal scoring? Because our attackers, when they go back to their previous teams, you see them finding the back of the net. But when they are playing for the national team, they can score. What are you doing to improve the situation? Thank you.
You know, to get successful, it's not like a linear process. It's always with ups and downs, and me as a coach, but also as a player, to be honest, maybe you don't believe it, and some people can't feel it because they haven't been players. But as a players, or me as a player, when I got defeated, when I lost, I got better out of it because I was reflecting on my mistakes maybe, and I was reflecting where I can improve. And for me, to be honest, I have the feeling, like especially after the last camp when they went home, this is what they had to. You know, they showed extra effort in their clubs. They regretted. You could see that maybe the emotions were still high. They feel for the nations. They feel for their country. And I don't know why exactly because of the red card, but maybe also because of that, because he was disappointed also from the last games we had with the national team. So you can feel that the love for the country is there, and they want to show it, and this is the only way they can show it through performance. And I hope that they still keep this, what they have inside after the last loss, that they have it and they show it again on the pitch. And it's too easy. I know it's a result game, but it's way too easy to say like they didn't perform and that's it. We had, especially in our home games, good performances, but sometimes football is like this. You can play good and you lose. Sometimes you can even play bad and you can get a point or you can win. And at the end, surely we all want to win. And I wish we would have played bad and we would have won, but it was more the other way around, especially in our home games. And there's so many small margins which can decide a game. You know? And I understand this question, but it's, for me, it's not about their ability that they can score. It's about maybe to bring them in a mental stage, and this is not only my responsibility. I know we have good media guys. It's also your responsibility. Some are working against it, but this is how it is if you lose. But surely I can just always ask for help and support, because once we make them feel like when they come home, they're at home, they will give their best and it will come. But if they come home and it's like a toxic environment, it's always difficult for them. It's not easy, they're just human beings. And what we all can do, is to support them, because we all want Ghana to win and we all want Ghana to have success. So this is only what I can ask for is support. I will try, and our technical staff will try to make them to feel at home, to make them feel good, to also talk about the negative things from the games, but also about the positive things, because there were a lot of positives in Ghana we created. When I see all the matches, we created a lot of chances, and now we have to work on them to score and to support them.
Okay, please, hold on. Our president wants
regarding ThomasPartey. I don't think there was clarity on the issue of ThomasPartey. I think the submission has to be devoid of ambiguity and equivocalness, because the last time around, coach, we have to be blunt. The perception in the footballing domain is that Thomas is not too eager to make himself available for the Black Stars. It may be false, but that is a perception. The last time he was unavailable, and the impression was that he was injured. Soon after that, he was seen in the Arsenal shirt, playing the full match. This time around, he's unavailable, and as you said, there are reasons you can't put all in the public domain. My point is that it's going to create a lot of speculation, and that gap is going to be filled with a lot of rumors, and it could be toxic. So you don't necessarily have to put all out in the public domain, but I'm sorry, but it's not enough to say he's unavailable. Why is he not available?
No, I didn't invite him.
You invited.
I didn't
You
invite him.
invite him.
I didn't invite him. He wanted to come.
Why?
Why? Because the reasons I told him. I told him the reason why I didn't invite him. You know, and if this topic is going to talk, this is not my fault. Maybe you have to ask Thomas now. You know, because I'm not talking about a player. This is not my style.
Okay, thank you very much, boss.
I'm thinking that you are in the same line with me. So when you took and asked of ThomasPartey, I said, legend has killed me today. But to what the legend said about ThomasPartey issue, coach, I want to know. You said he wanted to come and he said he wanted to come and you spoke to him and it was confidential. Whatever transpired between you and ThomasPartey, we are yet to know. But I just want to ask, those that they are not committed, because I know Partey didn't give you any reason because he was injured. It is personal stuff to him. I want to know, when it's done with that confidential issues, is he going to come back to the national team? Is he going to come back? And my last question is, please, are you selecting the players based on commitment or players that we feel that we are playing good for in Europe, so they should come up and add up to the national team and we play? Are you selecting your players based on commitment, or you feel that they are in Europe, so they need to come and add up to the numbers and play on the football field? Thank you.
So your last question is, so the first thing is performance. I said it before and I'll say it again. And maybe you can write it down so you don't ask again. It's always performance. Performance. I can guarantee you, even in this room, even if it's a friendly match, everybody who's in this room and every player who's on the pitch doesn't want to lose. There's no player in the world who will come on the pitch and say, oh, I want to lose. No way. But surely sometimes there are some negative things happening throughout the games where it's where maybe the situation is killing the enthusiasm, the fighting spirits of the player. Could be. And surely these are things which we talk about in general and which we have to address, and where the players have to be stable to still be fighting and give this spirit out. Sometimes we had away games where we had the impression where this was not there. And surely this is part of our job as technical staff to encourage the players to keep on believing, to keep on fighting. No, but it's not easy all the time. Also for the players, I know how it is as a player. And this is what we have to work on. It's very, very important for us to believe in ourselves. If we have we created a lot of chances in all the games to still believe that they can do it. And they showed it surely in their clubs. And this is the basic. But commitment is also one of the parts. But it's not because you don't know who's committed unless he's on the bench. You don't see it. I can't see if you're more committed than him, or I can't see it. No, I can just see it in the actions. And so the first thing is always performance, and we in exchange we call the players. I use the breaks, the national when we don't have national games, to visit the players. Not only Thomas, also other players. I talk to them. I'll call them on the phone. So this is part of my job, to talk to them, also to watch them live, but also a lot of video, because we can't be everywhere at the same time. So we watch a lot of games, a lot of videos, and we have an overview. This is the advantage I have. Maybe if you compare myself with yourself, I look all the players. Some people, they come and ask, oh, why is this player not there? But I have watched all the players, and maybe that person has just watched this player and made some highlights, And so it's always difficult to talk from outside. And I can understand that you're curious, but for me, this is one thing I wouldn't like. And I wouldn't like also, to be honest, a player to be somewhere and to be talking about me. So me, I won't always like that. I do the things, I treat the people the way I want to be treated. So I will never talk about players in public, what I told them and why this and that. I don't, because I also don't like it if players will talk about me in public, or the coach said this, that. This is not, if somebody has something to say, you can come to me. And if I have something to say about a player, I'll come to the player.
And the last one,
What again?
Please, let's move on. Okay, there's a microphone.
We lost to Angola and we drew against Niger. So it means that in the rankings in the world, we got to 70th. October, we drew against Sudan, lost against them in the reverse fixture. We dropped to 74th. You have 2 more games to play against Niger and also against Angola. As a coach, when you see the performance and then it's telling on the FIFA ranking, does it add a lot of pressure to you? And then second, my second question is just to add up to my colleague's question about the players performing for their clubs. So I just want to look at Antoine Semenyo. He scored against Manchester City not too long, but he comes to the Black Stars and looks very ordinary. I know you watched them, and I don't know what you can tell us about how you can deploy these players and get the very best out of them. Maybe try and mimic what you see at their European clubs.
No, I think, and maybe I'll start with a second. I know it's a result sport, but I see the games differently maybe than you. And I know that, let's say in a home game, if Antoine had 2 very, very good chances, if he would have scored, you wouldn't say he was playing just ordinary. you know. And Angola, against Angola also, he had a big chance when we played at home. And I know that, so for me, just like I said, it's margins which decides, you know, and it's everything is so close, and it can go in this direction or in that direction. So, but for me, I can't say that he's not performing in the national team. I can't say. I can say, let's say, the second game I expected more from him, but the first game there was a lot of positives. He had actually good passes, good runs, good everything. It's just that he didn't score. This was the only thing, and this is the most important thing, I know, but he's not doing it on purpose. And sometimes this is how it is in football. You know, I've experienced it in my own career, and a lot of players have experienced it. Sometimes you have bad luck, and sometimes it will come back. And we have to work hard to get it back. And it's also sometimes about the mental state and the belief in it. And I know that once we will score maybe one goal, the second one or the third one will come. This is what I'm hoping. And the first question was what again?
About the FIFA rankings.
Yeah, if I have pressure. Like I said, as a player but also as a coach, defeats are helpful, but for me it makes it better. I can see, this is what I hope on the players also, when they left, it made them better. It creates a certain kind of anger that, okay, I want to show the world I can still do it. This is how I was as a player. Like, I felt down, because maybe you see me here, sitting here, as let's say a former Dortmund player, and maybe I won the German championship. But before I got there, you don't know what I did. And you don't know how many times I fell down like 10 times, I feel like 11 times. I had like 5 big operations on my knee, and I came back. You know, it's always ups and downs. It's a very, very mental tough situation, and also a fighting situation. And this is the same as a coach now. We will do, and me and the coaches that we will do as much anything possible as we can do to win these 2 games, one after another, to win Angola and to keep the little chance we have alive. And there's so many situations in football. I remember when we had the World Cup 2022, the South Korean players, they cried after they lost against us, but at the end they stay qualified. So anything can happen in football, and we will have to just try to do our best. And for me, it's a pressure situation surely, but it's not being more or less than what I've experienced in my whole life and also career. And also as, let's say, as an assistant coach in Denmark, or as an assistant coach in Mönchengladbach, or as a assistant coach and transitional coach for Dortmund.
I saw a hand. Okay.
In July? Or May? June. Were you there in June? Okay, then please record what I said.
But have you moved on from him?
Excuse me?
Have you moved
No,
on?
like I said, you should go to the recordings and listen to what I said, because I can't say all the time the same thing to pieces. And the second question was what? So the doors are never open.